Hey everyone, I am sitting inside this brand new 2024 F-150 Lariat 502A high package. The F-150 was refreshed for 2024 and they've given us some new features and a new look to a bunch of the stuff. So let's take a look at it together. So you do have this digital display, and this is what I'm going to focus on today, is just going through this display for you, how the menus work, what's all in it, what are the features, that kind of stuff. So to control that digital display, you've got a menu pack on the right hand side of the steering wheel. You can press menu, you can go up and down, hit OK to enter, or you can press back to go back to the previous menu. These buttons are not for that, but this is phone and tracking the CD player if you want, or not CD, stereo. Wow, dating myself there. On this side, you do have your adaptive cruise control. So that means the cruise control can slow you down with the vehicle in front of you. You also have a lane departure system, and it also will activate the lane centering mode, which is Ford's semi-autonomous driving system. And then these are your volume controls and voice recognition. So in this, you can see we've got the digital display up top. We've got some gauges with temperature gauges and fuel gauges, distance to empty. We've got a digital speedometer on this side. We have a tach on that side. This is telling us what gear we're in. If I'm to hold down my foot on the brake and shift, you'll see that move. We can see what's playing on the radio. Looks like Party in the USA. And then you can see I have lane detection on. So if we go and press this button here, you'll see that. First give me a warning that it's off, and that symbol disappear. Got a compass, say northeast. We've got engine auto off is disabled right now, and it's disabled not because I disabled it, but because it needs the engine to run some of the accessories I'm running right now. It's just telling you that's why the engine's not shutting down. We've got what we've got for mileage on the vehicle, so 68.2 kilometers. You can tell it I am not buckled up because the red seat belt just came in there. This is the speed limit sign, so as we go by a speed limit, it will display on there as we pass by speed limit signs. If you don't go by a speed limit sign for a while, it'll default to what the GPS map thinks the speed limit sign is. And then this, you can see it says set, and that is because I pressed my cruise control on. If I press it again, it'll turn it off. Press it again, turns on, and shows the distance control, which if I hit the distance button, we can see if we want to be closer or farther away the vehicle in front of us. So that is the information on that screen. Now, if we press the menu button, that's going to take us to the main menu, and you can see we've got My View, we've got trip and fuel, heads-up display, gauges, off-road, towing, status and information, navigation, phone, audio, vehicle maintenance, and settings. What is My View? Let's start at the top. My View, if I enter into this, this gives us 7 different screens that we can pick from to see views that we just want to see anytime that we want when we go into My View. Now at the top of the screen is press OK to add or remove screens. There's only 7 you can add, so you can go through all these different screens and add or remove which ones you like to see. So I love that feature on here. I also love the measurements, as it actually gives you the temperature in exact either Celsius or Fahrenheit. You know, engine coolant temperatures at 84 degrees Celsius. If you want to keep an eye on things, especially if you're pulling or have a big load in the back of the box, that is really nice to watch that information. So that's great. Scrolling back out of here, the next is trip and fuel. Pretty easy. You got trip 1, trip 2, and fuel economy. So these are where you're going to see your fuel economy. Press and hold this to reset it. And this gives you kind of a live bar graph as you drive. Now we're sitting idling, so we're not getting any good fuel economy because we're not going anywhere. Back out of that, heads-up display, new for 2024, love it. Heads-up display will go into the menu, so the heads-up display is on. And if you can see in my windshield, it is displaying there on that rock in the picture. Then we can go into adjustment, which we can make it brighter. We can do vertical position, image rotation. We go back out, content. So driver assistance and pitch and roll is all displayed in there. And when I say driver assistance, you can see my cruise control is turned on. And if we press it off, now it's off. So this gives a little bit of driver assistance information. And the pitch and roll is for the off-road screen. I'll show you that in a moment. And then we can go into drive mode layout. So this is automatic. So depending on the mode that I am in, it will change that heads-up display. Or if I always want it in normal, always want it in tow haul, which I'll just go ahead and show you right now what tow haul looks like. So if you can see that, tow haul is giving you kind of a little different view of your RPMs and your mileage. And if we go down to off-road, So then off-road gives you pitch and roll, and a little bit of an indication of your four-wheel drive system and your articulation. So kind of a neat system that it does for that as well. So we're gonna zoom back out so that it's not so hard for you to see this information. So that is basically how you can configure those. I would leave it in automatic, but you might just like one of those gauges better than the other. So that is basically your heads-up display, which is new for 2024. Gauges, you can actually go in and change your measurements on your gauges if you want, or not change, sorry, this is where we see our measurements. So if we go into gauges there, you can just go into that measurement screen. Again, you saw that before from the quick menu or my view before I had gauges enabled. Off-road, again, we can just go in quickly and look at this if we want. See the compass, off-road status, or pitch and roll. We can go into towing. Now towing's pretty fun. You can go into trailer information. You can go to trailer light status. You can go into the trailer tire information. That's cool. You can hook up a TPS monitoring system to your trailer tire and see it in your vehicle. You can go into towing status. So this is all enabled when you are towing. Status and information. If we go into here, we can see seat belts. We can see engine information. And this one I really like. It gives us the oil information, but it also shows us how many hours are on the engine and how long the engine has actually idled for. Just a lot more information there, which is nice. Tire pressures you can go into. Navigation. So if you don't feel like looking at the screen, you can actually enter all your information here for your navigation. My home, previous destinations, favorites, points of interest nearby. So let's just go into this and try it. So gas stations, so let's say we select that. And now I can select Petrocan, which is 0.3 of a mile away. And that is gonna, start enabling that. Now it won't work at this moment. Why is it not working? I've got the navigation here, but we cannot put anything in until we activate the subscription. This comes with a trial activation brand new, but after the activation wears off, you'd have to pay monthly for a subscription. So until we activate that, we can't put in that data. Now, if you don't like that, you're like, I don't want to pay or I don't want to use their maps, you can always use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and use maps from your phone. So go down, you've got phone. You've got audio, which you can select, which source. Vehicle maintenance, you can go in, check your tire pressure, oil life. And settings, if we go into settings, you can configure those gauges up top. You can swap the positions. You can decide what's in the gauges. And just gives you a bunch of options if you want to be mile an hour. This is a Canadian vehicle, but you can switch to mile an hour. And if you're watching this in the States, you'll probably have the exact same thing, but in kilometers an hour, where it's always in miles an hour, but you could switch to kilometers an hour. And then neutral tow, so it does have a neutral gear to be able to flat tow this vehicle. Yeah, so that is basically all of your options in here. That gives you kind of a rundown of everything that is in this display, what everything means, and how everything works. So if you have any questions, let me know. Any comments, throw them down below the video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, go ahead and hit that bell icon and you will be notified every time I make a video. And if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, that'll help me out huge and I really appreciate it. All right, everybody have a great day.